MultiSys Technologies Corporation is your one-stop system provider. We do advanced systems research and development, focus on evolving assets of IT systems, platforms, and software solutions. We show integrated set of programs and solutions that drive businesses nowadays. Backed by our R&D team, we are able to customize solutions according to your business requirements with speed, accuracy, and efficiency. In our efforts to help Filipinos' way of life through digital innovations and transformation, we partnered with IT companies, system contractors, government agencies, big conglomerates, small and medium enterprises, and tech startups as well. We go above and beyond partnerships. It's a teamwork, and we make sure that your business and ours grow together. We find success in every collaboration and establish meaningful connections. That's why we want to partner with you. Here at MultiSys, we empower your business. MultiSys is a one-stop software company. So instead of you talking to too many integrators, you'll be able to come up with a centralized and automated way of doing things. We have a team that really move like one. So they are really united. So instead of one programmer, one system approach, I think multiple programmers joining force together, they can collaborate easily. We have speed, we have accuracy, we have efficiency. I think that's the secret of the group. That's why companies love to work with us. It will be faster for them. It will be more efficient to develop and deploy a certain system. They are a designer, they are a coder or programmer, they are a systems analyst, they are a quality control expert, and they're a UI and UX expert as well. That skill is not easy to really somehow have in one program. MultiSys can really customize the system. We can customize it according to their needs, design for their own and existing process flows. We're all racing against the clock. Priority of MultiSys is to elevate the lifestyle of every Filipino by delivering automated, integrated systems to make sure that we can fast-track the operation, processes. Cause I'm about to end, I think it's all about how fast can you deliver a certain technology. Speed matters nowadays. Sabi nga sa Tagalog, diba, daig ng maagap ang masipag. That's why we develop futuristic systems. What we do is that we predict the future, we develop, and then the moment that we are partnered with a certain entity, we're able to show them a live system. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. It will be a prototype, it will be a working system. So this will give them an idea how to solve a problem. This will give them an idea to expedite their processes. So not only showing them a vision, but showing them a solution already. We develop end-to-end solutions for 8 industries now. And we would like to automate other industries as well. Currently, we have an end-to-end solution for information technology businesses, okay, ERPs. We have e-government solutions, healthcare, an end-to-end solution for utility, whether you are an electric company, a water utility company, a telco, or a cable utility company. We do also retail, hospitality, academe, and of course, the new one is the banking and finance. Here at MultiSys, we empower your business.
the Manila Times Roundtable discussion and to find out how to remain secure with the StaySafe app. I'm the fourth Villasaran, and with me today is the CEO of MultiSys Corporation, Mr. David Almirol Jr. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, David. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, the fourth.
Thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule, and we know that you have many things to take care of throughout the country. You're right
Thank you as
now.
well.
You're currently in a remote location, right? Taking care of business somewhere up north.
Yes, I'm in Isabela now, the fourth. So I guess it's okay naman. The internet is still good.
Still stable, yes. That's one of our most important resources right now, and everyone's relying on this to be able to treat it as their life's blood, so to speak. But if you'll allow me to say a few words prior before we get into our discussion proper, if I may say some things about you, I understand that you are described as a full-time technopreneur and a full-stack programmer by heart. So you are the founder and chief executive officer or CEO of MultiSys Technologies Corporation, and it is considered the leading software solutions company in the Philippines. So it has blazed a trail in the IT and government, the healthcare, utilities, hospitality, retail, and even the banking and finance industries. It is considered as the country's most important technology provider, giving platforms for over 2,500 companies benefiting from these organizations benefit from all the services that you provide and all the latest innovations in both the public and private sectors. So for that, I think we're very much thankful for all the help that you've been giving, both in terms of local investors and of course the multinationals who benefit from all your work. So welcome and thank you, David.
Thank you as well,
Mhm.
the fourth.
Today we're here to discuss basically the idea of the latest innovation that you've provided. But before we get into that, I would like to ask, just as a point of clarification, one of the descriptors in your corporate profile identifies you as a technopreneur. Well, on one hand, it's like a combination of both an entrepreneur and someone who deals with the high technology. To what extent would you say then that you are involved in all the different processes of being a technopreneur? Because there's conceptualization, there's development, there's production and testing, and there's even the part of marketing and distribution of such technologies. How do you interface with all of these stages in your company's effort?
Currently, I'm not that involved much now on the
Mhm,
production, testing, and marketing, but
mhm,
I'm largely involved in overseeing multi-sys business strategies and some futuristic research and development. So
mhm.
since we have executives who does all those things already, so I'm more on the overseeing now since I was able to delegate this to our executives now inside the multi-sys.
Actually, a lot of graduate business school philosophies actually deal with or focus with that particular skill of being able to identify talent and nurturing it, and then being able to pass on or replicate yourself into their skill set, so to speak. So you've actually managed to duplicate yourself into your chosen workforce.
Yes, that's why I have to mentor most of them. And I guess for the past 3 years, I was quite successful on somehow replicating myself so that we can do more since I cannot do everything
Yes,
inside
that's true.
Multisys, especially with the with the growth of the IT industry now. So I have to do delegation.
Do I have the figures correct? That you currently have around 300 full-time staff and about 1,500 remote workers?
That is correct, the
Uh,
fourth.
okay. Well, given that, the other descriptor or the other way of introducing you spoke about how you are a full-stack programmer at heart. Now, for those of us who aren't very versed in the industry, would you say that is there such a thing as a partial stack or a half stack programmer? How does that how does the term actually pan out in terms of everyday speak? How would you describe yourself in terms of or in contrast with the ordinary or regular programmer?
I think that's the term that it's a technical term that they use as if there are multiple skill sets in a certain programmer. So
Mhm.
meaning if a certain programmer can do both front end and back end programming,
Mhm.
so they consider themselves as full stack. And sometimes if you are, yeah, it's like the skill sets like you're a designer and then you're also a coder and then you can do UX and UI as well. You can do database and you can do uh, system programming with multiple languages, both front end and back end. That's the time that they can call you a full stack, meaning you have like five positions in one body, something like that. So that's why technically they call you full stack programmer.
Well, on one end, that is a passion or a matter of interest, but is that also something that necessitates some form of qualification, certification? Are there certain hoops you have to jump through to be able to be certified as a multi or a full stack programmer?
There are certification, but more likely it's based on how on the production or the accomplishment that they were able to provide in a certain IT industry.
Hmm.
Because if you say the word IT industry, that's quite a broad word because it could
Yes,
contain
yes.
almost all kinds of industries. But I think based on the passion and compassion of individuals, they'll be able to to multiply their their skill sets. That's why they'll be able to have this rank as a full stack programmer.
And I understand that as a mentor, these are the kinds of programmers that you attract to yourself, and they're the ones that you've been building as part of your core team. Is that correct?
Yes, and we have to train them as well
Hmm.
because programmers are just programmers. But without good collaboration and teamwork, they will be alone. But merging multiple full stack programmers in a certain project will be not only exciting, but it can be more productive at the same time.
Yeah, I did ask that because from the research, I understand that the way you organize the workflow is basically very dynamic as opposed to compartmentalized and assigned tasks. You actually have a very collaborative work diagram in terms of being able to produce or output or to be able to accomplish projects. Several people work in a team on several projects simultaneously. There are overlaps, correct?
Yes, and they have to be agile. And since programmers can be doing multiple projects at the same time, since we provide them specific tasks to do, but more likely since we do both in-house projects and external projects, so we're very agile, and they have to adopt that kind of exciting culture at the fort.
Yes, I do get feedback from how the workforce or people from MultiSys actually find it very stimulating to have that kind of environment. Could you describe as a a full-time techpreneur and a full-stack programmer at heart, what does the work day or the work week entail in that kind of environment that you cultivate?
We promote work and life balance. So, in fact, we don't even consider Multisis as a workplace. We consider it as a playground because we promote playing than working. Working is quite tiring, but playing is fun. So that mentality comes up with the more that you're enjoying what to do, the more that you accomplish more.
This
So
is where,
the
where actually creativity comes to play, and you're being able to come up with the innovations that you produce for people.
That is correct. And as they play, they become more creative. They're not pressured. And every time that they enjoy working, that's the time that they can produce more. It's quite a new way of making people move rather than commanding them what to do.
It does seem very nice to be able to work at MultiSource. How long has the company been officially been an entity?
Uh, 2010 to 2014, I am the only guy inside
Mhm.
Multisys. So I do almost everything there. I have several staff, like 5 to 6 staff by that time, but we're able to build team starting 2015.
I
So
see.
that's
But
the time we were able to build our team.
could you give a little backgrounder on the trigger or the the origin of the company? How you had come back from Iraq in your stint as working there for a military camp, and then you came back to the Philippines and you had this germ of an idea.
I learned a lot of things when I was in the military base because basically I was mentored by good friends and elite individuals there coming from
Mhm.
different countries. So I'm quite fortunate to learn from the best programmers in coming from Europe, coming from India, coming from Japan, and several countries. So I'm quite lucky because I was a senior programmer and I was a resident programmer there. So I absorbed a lot of knowledge. That's why when I came back in the Philippines, somehow I was able to have this skill set to also teach other programmers as well.
So it wasn't really just to set up a company and come up with a source of income. You had actually put yourself or set for yourself a goal of creating or helping to create livelihoods for people in that particular niche or that particular industry.
Yes, my model personally as entrepreneur, I don't really believe in competition. So I
Mhm.
rather work with partners and I will allow my strength to be used by them. And if they allow their strength to be used by me, I'll do that at the same time. So I think empowerment is the key of MultiSys why somehow we have this growth for the past couple of years. And yeah, so I think collaboration will be our tool, especially nowadays, the
Mhm.
fourth.
Yes, given that the pandemic has affected both or rather all sectors, all business sectors, how would you then differentiate being a CEO of an IT or or the leading software development and information technology solutions provider versus being a CEO of other industries? What would you say would be the key differences?
I cannot differentiate myself to them. Basically, I'm not a perfect CEO. I
Mm-hmm.
still fail some of my decisions. Maybe, maybe I can mention some of the skill sets that I've learned because I
Mm-hmm.
learned from mistakes, and I think those learning, being a CEO is no, it's not about being a boss inside the company. Maybe one of the differentiator maybe is because I always believe in partnership. So I always believe that I have something that you need, and you have something that I need. And instead of competing each other, why not collaborate? And then let's grow our business together. At the end of the day, as I grow my business, you grow your business as well. And as you grow your business, I also grow my business. So I think that multiplier effect of sharing this strength with each other is my attribute as a CEO in Multisys.
Well, speaking of growth, in previous interviews, you were actually quoted regarding how the company has grown about threefold by even as far back as 2018. And you had even plans of expansion into three territories or countries, preferably or focused on Southeast Asia. How were the developments, or how have you been able to preside or execute such development as part of the pivot plan of MultiSys?
We're quite fortunate to find some very good partners outside the country, both Southeast Asia and Europe. So they're able to acknowledge that we have something that they need. So
Mhm.
again, as a Filipino tech, we're so excited to show to the world that hey, we have something that innovative. We have something that you can use it almost immediately, and we have something that it can be your asset as a partner or as an IT company. And yeah, it went well. Right now, we are expanding in 7 countries. So
Oh,
it's
seven
quite,
already. Okay. That's,
yes, in 7 countries. So I think you will hear more good news
mhm.
in 2021. I think we have a lot of news to tell to the world that Philippine technology, not only Multisys, including our technology partners as well, that we are now going out globally.
This is actually heartening news considering all the doomsayers and all the projections, the negative contraction forecasts that are in store for us in the coming year. But what you're actually saying is, at least for the IT and communications industry, it's basically something that we can expand or grow. People can actually get into this and help spur the outward development of the country.
Oh, yes. Everyone is starting their own digital play, and most of them somehow they would like to upgrade or enhance also their current technologies that they have, whether this is a product or internal use. So I think IT industry will boom, thousand folds because of that necessity nowadays. Especially contactless, paperless transactions are now a trend to
Yeah.
every industry.
Well, this is also encouraging for investors who are looking to see where their funds, their monies would be best served. Particularly, I know we can actually bring in the topic or the idea of how PLDT has made investments in your company and has become, like you said, a vital partnership for you and MultiSys. There has been I understand, a 45.73% minority stake in MultiSys, and there has even been a 2.15 billion investment in the company. And this has, how has this, if you could share with us, helped really develop the rollout plans of MultiSys?
Oh yes, it's very strategic. Our partnership with the MVP Group, the PLDT telco, is actually an enablement as well to us.
Mhm.
So meaning they lend their strength to us. It's actually a perfect marriage between infrastructure and solution at the same time. I think software and infrastructure, this is a nice marriage to complement each other. So connectivity plus system, internet plus software is actually a good tandem nowadays.
And also because in terms of the branding, there is that interesting angle where the smart brand actually lends to you're helping ushering in the smart lifestyle, the smart homes, the smart city kind of development.
Oh yes, of course we are we, we're supporting the initiative also because their plan is to have these smart cities nationwide to help a lot of LGUs to process during the new normal.
Mhm.
But we're so lucky that the PLDT group allowed us to become very agnostic. So meaning we work with several big conglomerates as well, and they allow us and they support us to expand as a software company, not just inside PLDT, but they allow us to do our own thing, and that's really a good gesture of allowing us to grow more in a way that we can do more horizontal businesses and vertical businesses at the same time.
With all of this going on for investors and the business sector, I think how this directly impacts on the everyday lives of people is that we will actually see more of or be able to appreciate more contactless transactions and to be able to go about our lives with less of the dangers that we want to actually avoid, which brings us actually to the StaySafe app, which has been developed by MultiSys and it's actually another partnership, another vital partnership, this time with local government units and the national government initiative.
Yes, of course. When the pandemic happened, the first thing in my mind as the CEO of the company is we have to do something.
Mhm.
We have to help, and especially when we felt like a lot of partners are now suffering because of the pandemic. They lost a lot of revenues, loss of jobs. Their businesses were quite affected. Especially they do more on physical interaction businesses. So I think we have something that could lend them. And the top of our mind is to secure the people and how to stop and or mitigate this pandemic. So there you go. We're able to develop Stay Safe, and it's a free system that we offer to the government. And we're quite fortunate that they accepted this as a solution to mitigate the pandemic. We're out of so many who presented to the government. So we're quite lucky that they're able to see the beauty of Stay Safe that we're able to build in a very short period of time.
We're also lucky and thankful because on one hand, you as your company has been helping other companies digitize their processes, and at the same time, you've also provided those companies which are unable to fully digitize their systems that and still require face-to-face a certain amount of personal interaction with customers or suppliers. And this is where the StaySafe app really comes into play because of the manner in which it helps protect those who still have to come in contact with each other.
Of course, and I think safety is the best policy now. The fourth, you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
you cannot operate. You cannot operate without securing your customers, without securing your employees and your visitors. So meaning you have to embed safety as you do business nowadays. And I think we're able to achieve that because the StaySafe is no charge to the private and to the government. So meaning it's a tool. It might not be 100% tool for you to secure yourself and your family and your business, but it can be one of the tool for you to operate now in the new normal.
It is a part of a system that you have to incorporate with seamlessly into one another.
That is correct.
But how then would you differentiate the StaySafe app? Because people hear about this kind of app or that kind of app. How would you then be able to describe the salient points or the better features of the StaySafe app?
Yeah. The word contact tracing is quite an overrated word already
Yes.
because when you hear the word contact tracing, basically it's like a surveillance, because you have to investigate who are the people contacted with you so that they will notify you to, to take good care of yourself, to maintain social distancing. So basically, it's actually a monitoring tool before. That's the first concept. But along the way, as we upgrade it, as we comply with with all of the bad and good comments of the public and even the government, they guided us as well to make it more innovative, but make it more safe at the same time. That's why we're able to remove GPS already, we remove Bluetooth already, just to make sure that people can appreciate it, that this is not something, it's not built for, for surveillance, but it's built to save lives here. Okay, that's why we're quite lucky that a lot of government agencies, including the private, they guided us. And as they guided us, we're able to enhance and upgrade more StaySafe.ph.
Could you explain a little bit more the technology behind this? You mentioned that you had removed the GPS and the Bluetooth elements of the app. What then takes its place, or what are the active technologies that are involved with the app?
The unique feature of StaySafe is we're able to link this, okay, to the cases, okay, as provided by the Department of Health.
Mhm.
There's a system called CDRS. CDRS was developed by another company, not MultiSys, the PhilInvest Group. So they're able to build that to gather information coming from different laboratories. So meaning there are positive link between negative and positive integration to StaySafe via API to protect the data privacy also of the confirmed cases. So meaning
Mhm.
StaySafe has a real access, a query access, whether this person is positive or not. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's the uniqueness of the StaySafe, not unlike with any other apps that it's more on self-declaration. Because self-declaration, you can always, lie about it.
Mhm.
But StaySafe, you cannot lie about it because there's a direct link automatically to the positive or negative results coming from laboratories. So that's the unique one of it. Another unique feature of StaySafe is being now used by establishments. So meaning both government participation and the private participation, combine these two, it will become more, more centralized and more helpful for both parties. So I think there's a lot of advantages why StaySafe was vetted by the government after like 8 months of
Mhm.
investigation, checking, and everything. So I think they've done a very good job to see that, hey, StaySafe, out of the so many mobile apps that was developed, it can be a tool, uh, not 100% tool, but it can be a tool to mitigate this pandemic.
Like you said, it is an evolving and useful part of the whole system of being able to remain secure in our
Yeah, that's
businesses and our
correct.
homes. We do have a question here from our viewers. You had mentioned institutions that have adopted the StaySafe app. How about the acceptance of the app among private firms and government agencies? Our viewer has heard that other firms also have their own tracing apps. So is StaySafe ready to be integrated to other data? For example, the Red Cross app, and such already pre-existing safety apps.
Yes.
Is there a way of integration?
Yes, as mentioned to you a while ago, we don't want competition. Although
Mhm.
others think that we are competing, but we're not. That's why we're able to open StaySafe to everyone. And we're ready to integrate. That's why a month ago, we're able to launch our StaySafe API. That API can now be integrated to any contact tracing app. So that whatever they use, if they use something, a different app in Visayas, different app in Mindanao, different app in Luzon. As long as there are integration, it can be unified, and we can solve the problem of this decentralized contact tracing. Or else everyone is like gathering information, but basically not doing the real contact tracing. Because if you mention the word contact tracing, meaning it should be linked to the cases. If you are not linked to positive or negative cases, how could you call yourself as a contact tracing app rather than just a data gathering or just a self-declaration, health declaration app? But now we're able to open StaySafe so that everyone can benefit from it, and they don't need to switch off any mobile apps now. They can use the API, and then we can unify our effort. Kasi sayang naman, pinagtulong-tulungan natin, magtulong-tulungan na lang tayo instead of like competing each other. At the end of the day, we have the same purpose here, to stop this pandemic.
That's right. But could you give us just a general overview? How would the StaySafe app be able to integrate with other existing technologies or applications?
Yes. Number one, yes. Number one, it should be integrated because we have to provide you leakage, okay, for a query mechanism. If the one who's entering your premise are confirmed or positive, COVID-19 positive. We should not be relying anymore on self-declaration, because self-declaration, you can just easily put whatever you want there. It should be a real-time contact tracing and allow the government, okay, to help also the establishments and the people to identify in a query mode who are the people who are, asymptomatic or confirmed cases. So this integration will complete that query, the fourth, and it could help a lot of contact tracing apps nowadays.
Okay, thank you for answering that viewer's question, and thank you, Red Mendoza, for sending in that query. Going back to our line of questioning, though, and we are discussing the level of security that would be a concern for most, because some sectors have expressed that such issues or concern about how contact tracing can be reappropriated to track citizens. But you did mention that it's not so much contact tracing is what the app does, but so much as being able to monitor who has been positively or negatively been diagnosed, and at the same time sharing that database with other app users. So it actually comes off as a kind of a, do I understand correctly? It has that kind of proximity alert feature.
Actually, on the proximity alert, we already removed that.
Okay.
Because of that concern. Okay, I know that for me as a technical person, there's a lot of benefit when you turn on your GPS, because we know the location where the accumulation of the disease. We can now see in a certain map what to do, especially in the level of the LGU level, for them to have a better decision making. But because it was requested, okay, by a lot of entities that it might be so-called surveillance, we don't have just but to remove it. In fact, we remove a lot of benefits, by the way, the fourth, just to comply with the data privacy, and we're happy to do it as mandated by the government.
So right now with the app, you don't really know who around you has it, but you do know if that person enters your, let's say, home or your office, then you will get a notification or alert. Is that
yes, that is correct. That's why we're able to launch our the digital logbook. The digital logbook is now promoted by multiple government agencies, especially DTI, because it's your duty to protect your establishment, right? It's your duty to protect your people. Meaning, if they enter your premise, the moment that you post your QR code in front of your premise or in front of your establishment, and individuals don't need to show any QR code at all. In fact, you don't even need a QR code. All you need is just your camera. Once you scan it, and it will go to our query system, then it will identify that, hey, you should not be coming here because you are a positive case individual. While you are going out, you should not be entering the premise. But without that integration, you can just lie. You can just tell that, hey, I'm okay. I can enter the building without any integration. But because of that StaySafe integration, to positive cases, not only from the laboratory, but coming from the LGUs. Because LGUs, remember, they hired contact tracers. Remember, they have to investigate who are the people they contacted with. That's why we have not only confirmed, but we have probable and suspected. So meaning, StaySafe can power these three things. whether you are a confirmed case, a probable or suspected. So meaning you will be anonymously identified, okay, the moment that you enter a certain premise, if you are positive, probable, or suspected.
So you mentioned that organizations, companies, and institutions will be receiving such alerts. Can you mention, or would you say can you say which government agencies have adopted this application, and what other non-government organizations or even private sector organizations are using StaySafe?
Right now, we have nearly 70,000 establishments now using the digital logbook. In fact, if you use staysafe.ph, you can register as a company. We already open to everyone. So meaning you don't need to contact us. You just go to the website, register as a company. The moment that you have the account, you can print your QR code, put that already in your premise. Then there you go. You can now use now the digital logbook and digital contact tracing. So right now, a lot of big conglomerates adopted this, especially the major food chain like of McDonald's, like Jollibee, the Ayala Group also already using it. Philinvest is already using it. In fact, I'm quite happy because even the restaurants and hotels and other establishments are using it since it's free. And they have a logbook system, meaning they have this monitoring system. If someone attempted to enter or attempting to enter the premise, they will be notified at the same time.
Well, then you can say that this is already a widespread application, that a significant number or proportion of the society is already using it. Can you say this?
Yes. In fact, if you combine the usage now of StaySafe, both the mobile app, the website, or the camera, because you can also use StaySafe even without downloading the app, the Fort.
Yes. Okay.
You can just use your camera to scan the QR code of the establishment.
So
If you don't want,
it works with basic face recognition the tech that's readily available in all cell phones now.
yeah, it's not face recognition, it's the camera. So all you need to do is just scan the QR code. So meaning you don't need to download StaySafe actually, you can use the camera. But if you would like to simplify your usage, you can download the app. Currently, we have like almost 7 million users now to StaySafe, and it's growing. It's quite amazing. The adoption now of people, especially establishments, are helping us now implement this tool to mitigate the pandemic. Aside from maintaining social distancing and good hygiene in their company, they added Stay Safe as one of the requirements for them to operate.
Perhaps if this is something that becomes a standard in industries and throughout the society, then it would probably be good to have some form of mark or symbol to help remind people that such an establishment or organization has been certified or is safe under the app. Would you then have a kind of seal or stay safe safety seal for people to know that an establishment is certified?
Actually, they're doing it already. By first quarter next year, the DTI and the ICT, they're implementing a so-called safety seal, not a stay safe seal. It's called safety seal. The
Okay.
meaning that safety seal will be put in your workplaces, maybe a restaurant or other establishments. Meaning you are marked that you are complied or you have the criteria that your establishment is safe. Number one, you should use Stay Safe so that you have a real-time contact tracing. Number two, maybe you should maintain social distancing. Number three, maybe you should maintain also some kind of like you should have disinfectant and practice also good hygiene, something like that. So these are the criteria that they might be imposing by next year. It's a good initiative. That's not our initiative, by the way. Therefore, that's an initiative of DTI and the ICT. So it's
I
a good
see.
initiative.
So this safety seal is something that is both tied in with Stay Safe and possibly even other applications that contribute to the safety certification.
Yes, as long as they are connected to the API of StaySafe, so meaning it will no longer be a drama that we focus more on the self-declaration because, as I said, self-declaration is not accurate. You can declare you are not sick even you are sick. You can declare you are sick even you are not sick. So it's for me, it's not actually that effective. That's why StaySafe, the link of StaySafe, to make sure that we're able to identify the confirmed, probable, and suspected cases attempting to enter our premise, that is the best solution for us to mitigate the pandemic, to avoid the transmission of the virus.
Well, then, would you happen to know where the such a safety seal will be placed in an establishment? Is it like on doorways? Is it by the cashier? Is there a kind of standard place for people to look and know and feel secure about being able to enter a company or an establishment?
I'm not sure yet. We're not part of that implementation, but we are part of the requirement. So I hear that in the first quarter they will be launching that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a very good initiative of the DTI to make sure that the establishment will now have the duty and responsibility to protect not only their employees but their customers. And I think that safety seal initiative is hopefully maybe our solution now to
Yes,
mitigate the pandemic.
that would be more reassuring for especially for the movement towards helping to revive the economy with encouraging people to patronize businesses and establishments once again. It would be good to be reassured with such deals. Do
That
you
is
think
correct.
it would be mandatory for establishments and even citizens uh, to be able to take on apps like Stay Safe?
I hope so. That's our plea ever since.
Mhm.
Because if you're gonna allow, if you're gonna allow us to become decentralized and we do the same thing together,
Mhm.
and just for the sake of claiming that we have a contact tracing, I think if we're not gonna unify our effort, for me personally, I
Mhm.
respect all IT companies out here. I think we need to unify already. We need to collaborate already. We need to talk to each other already, and so that we'll be able to integrate our solutions all together to come up with a unified solution to mitigate this pandemic, or else it will become like a unnecessary competition. So I think uh, for me it could be a tool again, could be a tool, especially if we're united. You know what I mean? The fourth.
I understand. One concern would probably to be able to help integrate. I think we need to kind of reassure people whether or not such an app or similar apps would actually be skirting the edge of lawfulness. Are there any questionable data privacy laws, or is there anything in terms of, for instance, if it were to be made mandatory, is that something that is actually against any freedoms that people might want to cite or to invoke?
I think with the help of the National Privacy Commission, because they have a very strict rules. Number one, there's consent while you're using it.
Mhm.
Number two, the purpose of the app is very clear. The purpose of the app is basically to protect yourselves and to protect your establishments. It's not for some kind of like investigation or surveillance. That's why we're able to remove the Bluetooth and GPS to make
Yeah,
sure that people.
to be clear, you've repeated more than once that the portions of an app that deal with people's concerns on security have actually been removed already. Uh,
Yes, that's correct. That is
mhm.
correct.
So we're left with the most important parts, which is being able to identify people, not so much by their declaration, but by the identification from accredited testing facilities on whether someone has or has not been tested positively.
That is correct.
Mhm. So maybe we can take the flip side, the other point of view. We've discussed those who have reservations or even objections about the concept of contact tracing. Maybe we can talk about those who are actually grateful or thankful for such initiatives and such applications to be in existence and to be constantly evolving to meet the needs of the populace. Could you possibly mention again some other collaborate people that you've organizations that you've collaborated with that are grateful or are thankful for Stay Safe?
Yeah, well, for us, we see a lot of success stories now, especially in Mindanao area, because a lot of mayors and several health practitioners there, they use to stay safe as their way of life now to protect their citizen. And at the same time, it's instead of like building something, same model like what we're doing now, they just adopted it. And we're so grateful also. The ILG is also helping us in terms of like implementing this, because take note, we have 1,700 LGUs in the Philippines, and imagine we have to provide them, their own local access to stay safe for them to protect their citizens at the same time,
Yes.
and to do trainings and continuous, seminars to our partners. So I think a lot of success stories, especially in the T3. T3 is being managed by uh, combined effort by big conglomerates. So since they're able to witness the effective contact tracing module to stay safe, they're able to adapt this to their own malls, establishments, and even to their workplaces.
Is it MultiSys that actually provides these training and information dissemination regarding the app? Or do you have partners in the LGUs who you've already trained and they themselves are the ones who go about training other people about the usage and application?
Yes, we have our people, but now everyone is moving. There's a lot of groups now assisting us, helping us. A lot of organization now, the fort,
Mhm.
especially the big conglomerates. They also assisted us, provided us people to implement this nationwide, and we're seeing also very good traction from the government, especially the DILG is really proactive on helping us implement these two LGUs, the DICT, and even DOH and the DTI. They are now providing assistance to implement this as well, to make it more, 100% implemented in the country. Because right now, as I mentioned to you, we only have 700 LGUs, meaning not even half, not
Not
even
even
half,
half. Okay.
not even half. So I think everyone's help will be appreciated to help us implement this. We cannot do this alone.
How would you then be able to expand to more than half of the LGUs being able to accommodate the training and the usage or the promotion of the application of StaySafe?
I think we need the help of the LGUs. I think it should be a divide and conquer approach. It should not be done centralized, because you cannot do it. We have 7,000 islands, the fort. I think the moment that the LGUs will be able to assemble their team to implement this, so now we can oversee it. DILG, DICT, and DOH, the one overseeing it. We're just a development team. We already donated this to DOH and to
Mhm.
DICT. In fact, they will be the one to maintain all the technology already of this technology. We are now in the process of like transferring the technology to them.
Mhm.
So we hope that we will finish our job already, the fort, because
Yes.
our vision is to develop this, give to the government, and let them run it, so that we can go back also to our private life already. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But still, we feel like the government still need assistance, and we're here to contribute our strength. As long as they need us, we're here to help.
Along those lines, do you still have any meetings lined up to be able to push the idea of them really expanding it to all LGUs and across the archipelago?
They started already. In fact, I'm so happy because they also listened some of the recommendations, not by me, but several brilliant individuals and groups out there, that having a implementation plan, a nationwide implementation plan of contact tracing is very important. With the help of Mayor Magalong, Secretary Vince, and the leaders that we have now, I think they have the roadmap, a nice roadmap for them to implement this already. And we're just here to contribute our little strength. But implementation is the hardest part of it.
Mhm.
Technology is just technology. Even you have a beautiful technology, without implementing it properly, it will be useless. That's why we've done our job. We've finished the technology, and I think implementation now is, it could be done by everyone. It could be done by the government and the private at the same time.
Could you share with us, to your knowledge, what the implementation plan is like? How is the rollout, further rollout of the app projected to be like?
I think right now, since the DICT and the DOH have this nice implementation plan, the private can help the government. Sometimes the private, if they're the one to implement this, since it's their duty to protect their citizens, their constituents. So the traction will now is spontaneous. Instead of like asking one by one all the citizens to download, but if the citizens, they have to download this because it's a necessity for them to protect themselves and to protect the establishment, everyone will comply.
I think we don't need to tell to people because it will become a necessity. The word is necessity. If it's a necessity to protect your establishment, if a necessity to protect your customers, if it's a necessity to protect your employees, you have to use Stay Safe. I think that plan that they're able now to that's why they have the resolutions number 85 of the
Mm-hmm.
IATF, the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
I think they already realized that. That's why they have this national implementation plan already.
Well, since you touched upon resolution number 85, could you talk more about it for those of us who are not quite familiar with the IATF's resolution? What does it? Could you express it in other words? What it's all about?
Actually, I'm not even involved in crafting or checking that. I was really quite shocked when they already put that out, the resolution
Mm-hmm.
number 85. So I'm so happy at the same time. I'm quite hopeful that it will be implemented because I was really hoping and telling to the government before that the only way for us, okay, to mitigate the pandemic is to stop the transmission. And transmission is creating a nice social distancing platform, a social distancing culture so that people don't need to mix up in a certain place without us identifying who are the positive or confirmed or probable ones. So under the resolution number 85, it says there that the national government and the local government will be mandated to use Stay Safe. And that's a very good start. Number two, the establishment should adopt it. That's number two. That's a very good second start again.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly is they also encourage other mobile apps right there, mobile contact tracing app to you to be integrated with Stay Safe. So that's a very good approach. So without without neglecting the efforts, okay, of the other LGUs and other IT company. That's why we have to respect that. And I think the only way for us to do that is to allow us to integrate each other. That's why we're able to develop the API of StaySafe to seamlessly, easily develop with this unified contact tracing called StaySafe.
So essentially, it's the government telling establishments as part of the license or the for allowing them to be able to continue operations. Part of the things that they review or overlook is that the app must become part of the protocols for system without necessarily having a bias or neglecting or excluding other systems or applications. It's really more of just becoming part of the whole protection system of an organization.
That is correct.
Well, then, would you be able to share with us then, are there any strategies? Because in spite of being able to tell people that we've removed, like say, the Bluetooth technology, we've removed the GPS aspect of it, so there's no longer that fear of people or some other organization gathering information about app users. Uh, Still, there would be people who are wary about being able to fully embrace the Stay Safe app. What then are your other strategies on being able to reassure people on being able to embrace the application and use it in their everyday life?
Yes, and I think we have to ease up their concerns in data privacy. That's number one. The
Mhm.
moment that we're able to gain trust and confidence, especially when we remove these concerns and we're able to listen. And part of an innovator, we have to listen, okay, to our users.
Mhm.
If they're not comfortable having this, why not remove it and put something, more acceptable to people? For
Mhm.
example, when they requested for a digital logbook because everyone is writing in a manual book every time you go to places and you have to manually fill up every time you enter a restaurant and then you fill up again if you enter another
Holding a
premise.
shared ball pen, everyone else.
Yes, and then it might be the reason for you to transmit the virus because you have to hold the pen and then you have to and now we're able to upgrade Stay Safe and we also added a digital logbook in it, so we listen and as we listen we learn, and as
Mhm.
we learn to people they will love that sinadjust ko yan dati, now they're doing it.
Mhm.
Now, I think not only to ease up the concerns in data privacy, but to make sure it's effective.
Mhm.
Importante yun eh. Yung effective. Dapat success story.
True.
Hindi lang drama, no? So I
Mhm.
think those are the things that we're able to consider and add to our Stay Safe platform. And maybe lastly then is because dahil kailangan nating buhay ng economy eh. We have to revive the economy, and reviving the economy, you have to embed safety nowadays. So I think that might be the building the trust and confidence of the people is very important.
So since you did touch upon the subject of listening to people's concerns and adapting to it, maybe we can round off the discussion with maybe just a kind of a quick timeline or a bulleted narration of how you've listened to concerns and answered them with evolutions or adaptations of the StaySafe app.
Yes. One thing I love in this country is we have a lot of good critics. That they always love to find something bad and then throw at you. And I love that. It's not something to criticize back.
Mhm.
It's something to teach you that hey, we can still enhance it.
Yeah.
We can still upgrade it. We can still work together. But one thing that I always ask to partners and even to the media and to the government and to our partners, we need to set aside our differences. Sometimes we are competitions in several projects or several, but I think we need to encourage and inspire each other now to make sure that we'll be able to unify our efforts. We should not compete in the same if we're trying to accomplish the same thing. Bakit pa tayo magtatalo kung isa lang naman yung target natin gawin?
Yeah.
Diba? So, yeah, so I think that's my insight, the fourth.
Well, to end things up, could you share with us any data, any information regarding the effectivity or performance of the StaySafe app since its inception, since its rollout?
Yes. So currently we have nearly 7 million users. If you combine the users now of the website, the mobile app, and the camera of the smartphone,
Yeah.
the good news is we also have now StaySafe that could also even if you don't have any mobile phone or smartphone, now you can use now the StaySafe passcode. So those are upgrades that you can use. Currently, we have like almost 70,000 establishments now using StaySafe. So it was a slingshot like last month, especially when we had the grand launch in Manila, like I think September yata yun, September. And now we have almost 700 LGUs now using the StaySafe as their citizens response. So that success story is now inspiring us to continue enhancing this technology. Especially kaka-announce lang yung resolutions number 85. So in fact, we're having like workshop almost every week, the fourth, with the government, and they assembled also a strong technical working group. So they gather experts coming from different agencies, and then we meet up and then we study what are the things that we have to enhance and we have to upgrade in StaySafe. So yeah, I think we're okay.
Oh, thank you, David, for reassuring us regarding the features and benefits of the StaySafe app, and thank you, of course, to you and your team and to MultiSys for developing and sharing it with the nation for free as part of your corporate responsibility and your efforts to be able to help mitigate the pandemic effect. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us in our episode regarding remaining secure with the StaySafe app in the Manila Times Roundtable. And I'm the fourth Villasaran. Thank you and have a good day.
MultiSys Technologies Corporation is your one-stop system provider. We do advanced systems research and development focused on evolving assets of IT systems, platforms, and software solutions. We show integrated set of programs and solutions that drive businesses nowadays. Backed by our R&D team, we are able to customize solutions according to your business requirements with speed, accuracy, and efficiency. In our efforts to help Filipinos' way of life through digital innovations and transformation, we partnered with IT companies, system contractors, government agencies, big conglomerates, small and medium enterprises, and tech startups as well. We go above and beyond partnerships. It's a teamwork, and we make sure that your business and ours grow together. We find success in every collaboration and establish meaningful connections. That's why we want to partner with you. Here at MultiSys, we empower your business. MultiSys is a one-stop software company. So instead of you talking to too many integrators, you will be able to come up with a centralized and automated way of doing things. We have a team that really move like one. So they are really united. So instead of one programmer, one system approach, I think multiple programmers joining force together, they can collaborate easily. We have speed, we have accuracy, we have efficiency. I think that's the secret of the group. That's why companies love to work with us. It will be faster for them. It will be more efficient to develop and deploy a certain system. They are a designer, they are a coder or programmer, they are a systems analyst, they are a quality control expert, and they're a UI and UX expert as well. That skill is not easy to really somehow have in one program. MultiSys can really customize the system. We can customize it according to their needs, design for their own and existing process flows. We're all racing against the clock. Priority of MultiSys is to elevate the lifestyle of every Filipino by delivering automated, integrated systems to make sure that we can fast-track their operation, processes. 'Cause I'm about to win. I think it's all about how fast can you deliver a certain technology. Speed matters nowadays. Sabi nga sa Tagalog, diba, daig ng maagap ang masipag. That's why we develop futuristic systems. What we do is that we predict the future, we develop, and then the moment that we are partnered with a certain entity, we're able to show them a live system. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. It will be a prototype, it will be a working system. So this will give them an idea how to solve a problem. This will give them an idea to expedite their processes. So not only showing them a vision, but showing them a solution already. We develop end-to-end solutions for 8 industries now. And we would like to automate other industries as well. Currently, we have an end-to-end solution for information technology businesses, okay, ERPs. We have e-government solutions, healthcare, an end-to-end solution for utility, whether you are an electric company, a water utility company, a telco, or a cable utility company. We do also retail, hospitality, academe, and of course, the new one is the banking and finance. Here at MultiSys, we empower your business.